Hello, this is Skinny Ebert again. I haven't really done a video in a while, but I just wanted to explain a few things here about Game of Thrones finale, Big Bang Theory, and the EU parliamentary elections. Let's just start with the elephant in the room, Game of Thrones. I feel the same way about that as I do Avengers. It's one of those things that's become so popular and so de rigueur at the moment that it's just like, what's in it for me? I mean, it's, has that sort of weird parallels to the modern world, but I just find it as a very overrated program that its only saving grace is the fact that it's uncensored or uncut. Graphic violence, graphic sex, coarse language, everything in between, and the fact that it uses its 18 certificate or its TVMA to its advantage is its asset. Other than that, I find it just overrated trash. I'm sorry, I don't care about what Jon Snow or Cersei or that dwarf man Peter Dinklage is doing. That's why I saw the Big Bang Theory season finale instead, which I thought was a nice little way to end the program. For me, when it comes to TV shows, comedies tend to be my go-to, or documentaries of sorts. Long dramas of sorts that are very epic in scale are a bit hard for me to follow, for the most part. I don't know. It just wasn't working for me, but with Big Bang Theory, it was actually quite funny in its own little ways. Yeah, we get to see, Jim Parsons talking like this. Bazinga. And then let's also go back to EU Parliament. If for 1 second you're thinking and watching this video right now, assuming that I'm going to be supportive of Front National or Salvini's party, or Fidesz, Viktor Orban's one, or Brexit Party for Nigel Farage, you're sadly mistaken. While I have my reservations about the European Union, I do think there are better ways of handling through this instead of picking people on the far right, or the centre, even for that matter, over and over and over. It's like these people never learn. The only way you are going to change Europe is not to vote for people on the centre and the far right. You need to vote for people, at the very least, who are devoted left wing or pretty much just out of the box. I'd take Vermin Supreme over any of these people. Macron, Farage, Kurz, Orban, May, over any of them. Ron Paul included. Corbyn included. That Joe Rogan fella on the podcast. I'll take him over any of these people. I don't know. It's just the current wave of politics right now in Europe is a bit of a nasty trip. I understand all the complaints and criticisms around Islamic extremism and mass immigration. I understand the social services being cut by the government to make way for lousy projects and warmongering. I understand those things, but I don't want Britain or any of these European countries to turn into 1930s Germany. Also, I don't want it to turn into something that resembles Napoleon's France, or the colonial years of Spain, Portugal, Britain, France, and Germany, and the Netherlands, where they could just invade Asia and Africa just like it was nothing. That's a slippery slope that I don't want to go through. And the same can be said about the American elections, but I think the EU parliamentary ones are probably a bit more potent at this time, because as we have seen over the past few years, even with those midterms last year in the US, that it's not been quite as hairy-fairy as they seem. They said there was going to be some sort of blue wave. That didn't happen. Select candidates did show, a different side of themselves, but I think there's still a way to go. I don't want people watching this video assuming I'm some sort of left-wing libtard who wants multiculturalism and political correctness. I am my own beast. If you want to put right-wing or left-wing labels at me, the choice is yours, my friend. And for that matter, I just don't want those things to happen. Otherwise, what's the point of living if you can't fight against a higher power? That's what the whole, all these movements were about. Gilets jaunes, Occupy Wall Street, Black Lives Matter. Unfortunately, the Nazi movement was built out of that, but it didn't turn out for the best way possible. And then, you pick one candidate who said, we're going to change the world forever, and he doesn't fulfill your promises. He wins based on falsehoods, and that can be dangerous too. So I'd say to myself, governance upon oneself, or small little enclaves like there was in Spain, proto-Franco regime, where the anarchists had their own little things to handle and play around with instead of cooperating with a government that didn't care about them, would be a utopia, even if you can't achieve it, more so than all this nonsense. Elections can fool you, but also people who try to play nice and be on the center, and people on the far right can kill you if you're not careful.